So HE Peter Obi actually commented on the 15 billion naira for the renovation of the vice president of Nigeria residence in Abuja. Now, his aides came out and gave him what I would say a very careless response to that particular issue. Now, they say you have been dancing naked in the public square, trying to curry the attention of those who care to listen. Shettima Replies Peter Obi over criticism of 15 billion contract for the VP residence upgrade. Nigerian Vice President Shettima has responded to the comment made by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi, over the proposed 15.5 billion budgeted by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to construct a new official residence for the Vice President. FCT Minister Wike had recently revealed that the government planned to use the funds for a befitting residence for the nation's Vice President, to which Pete Obi criticized in a series of tweets on his X handle on Monday, calling it shocking and disheartening. Reacting to the criticism, Shettima on Tuesday, December 5th, in a release issued by a media aide, Stanley Nkwocha, accused Obi of dancing naked in the public square, trying to curry the attention of those who care to listen, to his falsehood and warp opinions about waste. For good 24 hours, Obi danced naked in the public square, trying to curry the attention of those who care to listen, to his falsehood and warp opinions about waste. On Sunday, he accused the current administration of sponsoring over 1,400 delegates to Dubai for COP 2028. The next day being Monday, the subject of his new found passion, armchair criticism, after his colossal loss at the presidential poll, was the proposed 15.5 billion budgeted by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to renovate the house of the Vice President, which he claimed would have paid the annual salary of 3,000 university professors. Shettima said the proposed plan for the construction of Vice President official residence, for which budgetary allocation was made in the 2024 budget by the FCT administration, was awarded by the administration of the former President Goodluck Jonathan. It was not originated by the present administration. This Mr. Peter Obi knows, but choose to play dumb, all in a bid to inflammate a targeted group of Nigeria as unusual, score cheap political goals and accolade and praises. Now, this is coming from Linda AKG, and trust me, this vice presidential candidate is actually something that we really have to look into. Anyway, I will also read out carefully what Peter Obi actually tweeted. Here you go. So in a bit to clarify this is what Peter Obi said. And from what he said, I don't think it is right. It is wrong. Now, 15 billion naira can actually clear up over 3,000 professors in the universities, the debt that they are owing, and put ASU strike farewell, like just say bye-bye to it. Like, for goodness sake, this vice presidential, he's not sleeping outside now, Abi. With the current situation we find ourselves in Nigeria, he's not sleeping outside. He's living a luxury life. So what's the extra expenses when we know the situation of the country at the moment? Anyway, let me go directly to what Peter Obi said that prompted such a malicious response from the vice presidential aide. He said, even as I am still studying the 2024 fiscal budget as presented to the National Assembly last week, I cannot wait as I am compelled to ask what is exactly wrong with us as a country. I ask this question because it is hard for me to understand some of the recent happenings in our nation in these critical times. The recent news about a budget provision of 15 billion for the construction of a new residence for the vice president is both shocking and disheartening. Considering the many important challenges facing our nation, just recently, in the supplementary budget, the sum of 2.5 billion was included for the renovation of vice president's residence in Abuja, which means that he already has a residence. Again, during the budget presentation, I heard the sum of 3 billion was allocated for the renovation of the vice president's residence in Lagos. If we total all this sum, we would have budgeted the sum of 20 billion for the housing of vice president at this critical times, when we are not just the world's poverty capital, but more people are falling into poverty, with so many Nigerians not knowing where their next meal will come from. Our health facility have collapsed and unemployment is skyrocketing. I am convinced that 99% of Nigerians can only dream of living in the current residence of the vice president. Several people employed in the university are not being paid. Just to give an example, the salary of a professor in a Nigerian university is about 400,000, which without removing tax is about 5 million a year. What we have budgeted for the housing of the vice president, who is already a luxury house, is therefore the annual salary of 3,000 professors. This is the finance needed to develop the much needed human capital. The budget is 5 billion for student loans, which is yet to be disbursed. Is only a tiny percent of the cost of the vice president's new home. We are projecting to use 4 times the amount for educating all Nigerians indigent students to house the vice president. And we are being told there is nothing wrong with us. I am sure the major teaching hospital in Nsukka, Lagos, Ibadan, and Zaria did not receive this much capital votes in the budget this year. We have had leaders that were exemplary in the past. Most Nigerians may not know that the popular 1004 flats in Lagos was a land allocated for the building of a presidential mansion for the then head of state, General Murtala Muhammad. He sternly turned down the offer and instructed that the land should be used to build blocks of flat for civil servants. That is the kind of sacrificial leadership worth emulating. Our leaders must therefore stop reckless and insensitive to the plight of the masses. We need leaders who show compassion and are willing to sacrifice for common progress and development. Such compassion and frugal leaders are critical in our journey to the new Nigeria. Peter Obi. Now, I want you guys to really analyze these two responses, and you will see that even the defense the vice presidential aide is actually placing out is irrelevant. Okay, if Jonathan started this project and did not accomplish the project, is it a must that with the critical condition Nigeria is now, the new government should take over the same project? Please, let's discuss in the comment section. Thank you for watching, guys.